Is that clear? Log out and log in again if it doesn't work with you. Is that clear, everyone? The difference between improper and proper fraction? Okay. Now we have the last type of fraction. We call it the mixed number. What is the mixed number? When we have a whole number like number 5 here and proper fraction. If you have whole number and proper fraction, we call it mixed number. Like here we have 5 with 1/6. 1 is less than 6. So we call it mixed number. We have whole number and proper fraction. So 1 is less than 6, so 5 with 1/6, we call it mixed number. Here we have 8 with 7/8. This one also mixed number. Whole number here, and 7 is less than 8. Here we have 33 with 5/6. Here we have whole number, 5 is less than 6, so we call it mixed number. Clear? So how many types we have? We have 3 types. We have proper fraction, improper fraction, mixed number. Here we're gonna convert improper fraction to whole or mixed number. How we convert improper fraction to whole or mixed number? We divide the numerator by the improper fraction by the denominator. So here we have divide 15/15 will give you 1, which is a whole or mixed number. So number 1 here we have it as a whole number. So we're gonna convert improper fraction 15/15. We divide 15/15 will give you 1, which is the whole number. Here we have 16/5. We should convert it to become whole or mixed number. Divide 16 by 5. So, which value multiplied by 5 give you 16? There is no value multiplied by 5 give you 16. But we know if you multiply 3 by 5 will give you 15. So we subtract here. 16 minus 15 will give you 1. So here we have our answer will be 3 with 1/5. It's not time to talk about WhatsApp group now. After the lecture, you can discuss your WhatsApp group. Now, focus with me about the lecture. Here we have 3 with 1/5. 3 with 1/5 is a mixed number. So we convert the improper fraction here to give you a mixed number. 16/5, when you divide 16 by 5, give you 3 with 1/5. This is a mixed number. Clear how we convert? So let's complete now. We're gonna convert mixed number to become improper fraction. So you have it as mixed number, you're gonna convert it to become improper fraction. Here we have 6 with 1/8. So what should we do here? Here we have 6 whole number with 1/8. First thing, we multiply 6 by 8. So you multiply the whole number by the denominator here. So 6 times 8 will give you 48. Then what should we do? We add the number 1 here. So we have 48 plus 1 give us 49. So our answer will be 49/8. So 6 with 1/8, we multiply 6 by 8 will give you 48. Then we add the numerator here, number 1 will give you 49. So the answer will be 49/8. Is that clear how we convert mixed number to become improper fraction? Okay. So now we're gonna reduce fraction to lowest term by inspection. So here we have 24/30. We're gonna reduce it to the lowest term. So we find value that we can divide both numbers here, 24 and 30, by this value to reduce it to the lowest term. So here 24, can we divide it by what? We can divide it by number 6. And also 30 here we can divide it by 6. So when you divide 24 by 6 will give you 4. Here if you divide 30 by 6 will give you 5. So now we reduce our value to the lowest term. So 24 divided by 6 will give you 4. 30 divided by 6 will give you 5. So how we can find that we can divide these two values by you can divide it by number 2, but we need to reduce it to the lowest term. So you're going to divide it by 2 twice. If you divide 24 by 2, and also we have 30, we should divide it by 2. That will give you what? 24 if you divide it by 2 will give you 12. 30 if you divide it by 2 will give you 15. Right? Is this a lowest term? No. What should we do? We can divide it also 12. We can divide it by 3. 15. We can divide it by 3. That will give you what? 12 divided by 3 will give you 4. 15 divided by 3 will give you 5. So over 4/5. We get the same value here. Here we divide it directly by 6, give you 4/5. Here we divide it by 2, then we divide it by 3, give you the same answer, 4/5. You can use any way you want, but the important thing you get it to the lowest term, which is 4/5. Here we find the greatest common divisor. Here you're gonna know how we collect number 6 or why we choose number 6. Here we have 24/30. What should we do? We divide 24 by 30 to find the greatest common divisor. So here we have 24 and here we have 30. So any value multiplied by 24 give you 30. We have number 1. 1 multiplied by 24 give you 24. So 30 minus 24 give you 6. So then we divide 24 by 6. This 24 become here. So we have 24 here and number 6 here. So which value multiplied by 6 give you 24? Which value multiplied by 6 give you 24? 4. So 4 times 6 is 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. What's a big 0? It's 0. So what is the least common, the greatest common divisor here is number 6 because we had 0 here. So 6 is the greater common divisor. So now we can divide 24 by 6. We can divide 30 by 6, give us 4/5. Clear now? Is that clear? Okay, now let's move to divisibility test. Here you're gonna learn how to find the values that we can divide it by 2. Any value end with 2, 4, 6, 8, you can divide it by number 2. Any value end with 2, 4, 6, and 8, you can divide it by number 2. If you have like 352, we can divide it by 2. If you have like what you said, 76, you can divide number 76 by 2 because it's end here with number 6. If you have 108, you can divide it by 8 because it's end with number 8 here. So any value end with an even number, we can divide it by 2. Any value end with even number, you can divide it by 2. So 76, it's end with even number, you can divide it by 2. 108, it's end with even number, you can divide it by 2. 352, it's end with number 2, so you can divide it by 2. Here we have 12/14. Can we divide it by 2? (12/14). Can we divide it by 2? Can we divide it 12 by 2 and 14 by 2? Yes, we can, because here it's end with even number and here it's end with even number. When it's end with even number, you can divide it by 2. 12/2 will give you 6. 14/2 will give you 7. So we reduce this value to the lowest term, give you 6/7. Here we have number 3. Sum of the digits should be divisible by 3. So Here we have 36. How we know 36? We can divide it by 3. If you add 3, 36 is a 3 plus 6 will give you 9. Can we divide 9 by 3? Yes, you can divide 9 by 3. Here we have 69. 6 plus 9 will give you what? 6 plus 9 will give you 15. 6 plus 9 equal 15. Can we divide 15 by 3? 15 divided by 3 will give you 5. Here you have 9. If you divide it by 3, will give you 3. So 36 we can divide it by 3, and 69 we can divide it by 3. If you divide 36 by 3, will give you 12. 69 if you divide it by 3 will give you 23. Now we have number 4. The last 2 digits can be divided by 4. Here we have 140. Can we divide 40 by 4? Can we divide 40 by 4? Will give you 10. So 60. Can we divide 60 by 4? Use your calculator. Divide 60 by 4 will give you what's the value if you divide 60 by 4? Are you sure it's 6? Divide 60 by 4 will give you 12 or 15. Choose your answer. $15. Yes, right, 15. So 140 we can divide it by 6, and 160 we can divide it by 6. Sorry, 140 we can divide it by 4, and 160 we can divide it by 4. If you divide 140 by 4 will give you 30. If you divide 160 by 4 will give you 40. Then you reduce it to the lowest term will give you 7/8. Is that clear? Here you find the last value here. Here there are last 2 digits, it's 40. You try to divide it by 4. If you can divide it by 4, so 140 we can divide it by 4. Here we have 160. We choose the last 2 digits. Last 2 digits is 60. Can we divide 60 by 4? Yes, will give you 15. So 160 we can divide it by 4. Clear, Judy? Now number 5. Any value end with 5 and 0, we can divide it by 5. Any value end with 5 or 0, we can divide it by number 5. Any value end with 5 or 0, we can divide it by number 5. Here we have 15. Can we divide it by 5? Yes. 20. Can we divide it by 5? Yes. 1,000. How many zeros? 3 zeros. 1,000. Can we divide it by 5? Yes. Any value end with number 5, we can divide it by 5. 65. Can we divide it by 5? Yes. Any value end with 0 or 5, we can divide it by 5. Here we have number 6. when we can say this value, we can divide it by 6. The number is even, and 3 will divide, and 3, the number is even, and 3 will divide into the sum of the digits. So here we have, here 12, it's end with number 2. Is 2 even number? Yes. 12, it's end with number 2, and 2 is even number. 12 is 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 will give you 3. Can we divide it by 3? Yes. Here we have 18. 18, it's end with even number, number 8. So 1 plus 8 will equal 9. Can we divide 9 by 3? Yes. So it's end with even number, and the sum of digits can be divided by number 3. So it's end with even number, and when we add the values, give you a value can be divided by 3. Now we can divide it by 6. Clear? So it's end with even number, and when we add the values, we can divide it by 3. So it's even number, and the sum of digits can be divided by 3, so we can divide it by 6. Now if you divide 12 by 6 will give you 2. If you divide 18 by 6 will give you 3. Here we have number 10. Any value end with 0, we can divide it by 10. Any number end with 0, we can divide it by number 10. 90, can we divide it by 10? Yes, because it's end with 0. 100, can we divide it by 10? Yes, because it's end with 0. Any value end with 0, we can divide it by number 10. Clear? Okay, now you move raising the fraction to highest when denominator is known. Raising the fraction to higher term when the denominator is known. So here we have 4 over 7 equal unknown value divided by 28. We need to find this unknown value. 4 over 7 equal unknown value divided by 28. What should we do to find this unknown value? We will divide 7 with 28. So we do the long division. Here we have 7 and here we have 28. So any value multiplied by 7 give you 28. So multiply 4 by 7 will give you 28. Now this 4, you find it here. What should we do? We multiply it by this 4. Multiply 4 here by 4. So 4 times 4 will give you 16. So the missing value here is 16. Clear? We divide 28 by 7. We find that if you divide any value multiplied by 28 will give you 7 is number 4. So we multiply 4 by 27, give you 28. So this 4 here, the answer, we multiply it by 4 in the numerator, will give you the missing value here, which is 16. So the value here is 16 over 28. Now we use this way to find the value. Here you have add numerators and place the total over the denominator. Now we're gonna add fractions, adding like fraction. If you have the same denominator here, we add the numerator directly. So here you have 1 over 7 plus 4 over 7 will give you what? 1 plus 4 will equal 5. And we don't add the denominator. We write it directly. We don't add 7 plus 7. That's wrong. We just add the numerator. In adding fraction, we just add the numerator. One plus 4 equal 5. Here we have 5 over 9 plus 6 over 9. 5 over 9 plus 6 over 9. We have the same denominator here. 5 plus 6 is 11. So we have 11 over 9. He always gonna ask you in the exam to reduce your value to the lowest term. So you should reduce it to the lowest term. Divide 11 by 9 will give you 1 with 2 over 9. So reduce your value to the lowest term. 11 over 9, divide 11 by 9 will give you 1 with 2 over 9. Clear how we add like fraction? If you have the same denominator, just add the numerators. Clear? Here you have least common denominator. 3 over 7 plus 5 over 21. What is the least common denominator here? Denominator. That means 7 or 21 or another value. What is the least common denominator here? Right, Jawahir, it's 21. Why 21? Because you can make this 7 to become 21. If you multiply 7 by, which value multiply by 7 to get 21? By 4? By 3. You multiply 7 by 3, you're gonna have 21. If you multiply the denominator, you should multiply the numerator. So if you multiply here, you should multiply here. So multiply 7 by 3 will give you 21. Then you multiply 3 by 3 to get 9. You don't multiply just one value. You multiply the both with the same value. So you will have here 9/20. Then you can add the values. 5 plus 9 give you 14/21. Here we have adding like fractions. Here you have a like fraction. So you can see a different denominator here. You have 3, 8, 9, and 12. Different values. What should we do? We try to find the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator? We try. There is no particular value. We try here. So let's try to multiply. Let's try to multiply the 9 by 8. Try to multiply 9 with 8. 8 times 9 will give you what? 8 times 9. Yes, 72. Any value multiplied by 3 will give you 72. And is there any value multiplied by 12 will give you 72. Any value multiplied by 3 will give you 72. Any value multiplied by 12 will give you 72. Try. Now we found common value between 8 and 9. Still we need to find this a common value with 3 and a common value with 12. 24 with what, Judy? (24 times 2). No, we don't have 2. You have 3 and 12. 24 with 3, right? If you multiply 3 by 24 will give you 72. What about 12? Any value can multiply it by 12 give you 72? Yes, number 6. So 3 times 24 will give you 72. 8 times 9 will give you 72. 12 times 6 will give you 72. Now, what is the least common denominator? What is the least common denominator here? It's 72, right? So here, what we're gonna do? You're gonna multiply 3 by 24, and here also number 1, you multiply it by 24, multiply 8 by 9. Here also we multiply by 9. Here we multiply by 8. Here also we multiply by 8. Here we multiply 12 with number 6. So we multiply 1 with 6 and 12 with 6. So 24 times 1 will give you 24. 24 times 3 will give you 72. Here we have 1 times 9 is 9. 4 times 8 is 72. Sorry, 9 times 8 is 72. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 9, 72. 1 times 6, 6. 12 times 6, 72. So we have the least common denominator here, 72. What should we do? We add just the numerators here. So 24 plus 9 plus 8 plus 6 will give you 47. over 72. Clear? No, not you all divide, multiply or divide the middle numbers. You try to find the common denominator. You try to multiply this value or try to find another value that common with these numbers. There is no specific way to find the common denominator here. We try. Here we have the prime number. What is the prime number? It's a whole number greater than number 1, and it's only divisible by itself and number 1. So number 1, it's not a prime number at all. So number 2, you can divide it by any value? No, we can divide by 2. We can divide 2 by 5. We'll give you a decimal value, will not give you a whole number. So 2, it's not divided by 5. So we can only divide 2 by 2 and it give you number 1, and you can divide 2 by 1, will give you number 2, sorry. So it's only divisible by itself and number 1. Here we have 13. Can we divide 13 by 3? No, will not give you a whole number. Will give you a decimal value. So 13, it's only divisible by itself and number 1. So you can divide 13 by 13, and also you can divide 13 by 1. So this is the prime number. It's a value. It's only divisible by itself and number 1. Here we're going to add mixed number. Here we have 4 with 7 over 20 plus 6 with 3 over 5 plus 7 with 1 over 4. 4 with 7 over 20 plus 6 with 3 over 5 plus 7 with 1 over 4. We're going to add this value. Do we have the same denominator? Do we have the same denominator? No. So what should we do? We should find the least common denominator here. Here we have 20, 5, and 4. So what is the least common denominator here? We have 20, we have 5, and we have 4. Yes, 20 is the least common denominator. Can we make this 5 to become 20? Yes. Can we make this 4 to become 20? Yes. What should we do here to make this 5 become 20? We multiply it by what? What value multiplied by 5 give you 20? Yes, we multiply it by 4. So here for this 4, we should multiply it by 5. So here we have 4 with 7 over 20 plus 6 with here also this 3, we multiply it by 4. So 3 times 4 will give you 12. 4 times 5 will give you 20. So we have 6 with 12 over 20. Here we have 7. Here we have 1. We multiply it by 5. 1 times 5 will give you 5. 5 times 4 will give you 20. So we have 7 with 5 over 20. Then we can add the values. Now we can add the values. 7 plus 12 plus 5 will give you 7 plus 12 plus 5 will give you 7 plus 12 plus 5. 24 over 20. Right. We have 24 over 20. Here we have 4 plus 6 plus 7 is 17. So you will have 17 with 24 over 20. 17 with 24 over 20. Why didn't we add 4 to the first fraction? Why we should add 4 to the first fraction numerator? It's already, we don't need to do anything with the first fraction because it's already, we have 20 here. We have the least common denominator with the first fraction here. So we add 4 plus 6 plus 7. We add the whole values together. 4 plus 6 with 7 will give you 17. Here we have 7 plus 12 plus 5, 24 over 20. So 17 with 24 over 20. Then we reduce this value to the lowest term. We should reduce this value to the lowest term. When you reduce it, will give you 4 over 20 will give you, when you reduce 24 with 20 will give you 1 with 4 over 20. If you reduce 24 over 20 to the lowest term will give you this value 1 with 4 over 20. So you're gonna add this one plus the 17 will be 18 with 4 over 20. Also, you can reduce it to the lowest term. It will be 1 over 5. So we have 18 with 1 over 5. Always reduce your value to the lowest term. He will ask you in the exam, reduce your value to the lowest term. Clear? Here we have subtracting like fraction. Here we have the same denominator. We just subtract the numerator. You have 9 over 10 minus 1 over 10. We have the same denominator. We just subtract 9 minus 1 will give you 8 over 10. The same as we did before. The same with add a fraction, same as subtract fraction. Here we have subtract like and like fraction. Here we have 5 over 8 minus 2 over 64. We need to find the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator here? $64, right? 64 is the least common denominator. So you're gonna multiply here 8 by, you're gonna multiply 8 by 8. And here we have, why shouldn't write 8? Okay, 8 times 8, and we can multiply 5 with 8. So 5 times 8 will give you 40, 8 times 8 will give you 64. Then we subtract 40 minus 2. 40 minus 2 will give you 38, and we write the denominator here, 64. So just subtract the numerator. Clear? Here we're gonna subtract mixed number. 6 with 1 over 2 minus 6 with 1 over 2 minus 3 over 8. Here we have different denominator. So what should we do? What is the least common denominator? 8 with or 2? Or any value outside these two values? 8. So we can multiply 2 by 4. We can multiply 2 by 4 and multiply 1 by 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 will give you 8. So we have 6 with 4 over 8 minus 3 with 8. So 4 minus 3 is 1. And we have the denominator here 8. So we drop the 6 here. Clear? Here is subtracting mixed number. Here we're gonna borrow. We have 3 with 1 over 2 minus 1 with 3 over 4. What should we do here? We have the common denominator will be number 4 because here we have 2, here we have 4. We can make this 2 to become 4. So we multiply 2 by 2. And here we have 1 by 2. So we have 3 with 2 over 4 minus 1 with 3 over 4. Then subtract. We subtract 2 minus 3. So the values is 3 with 2 over 4 minus 1 with 3 over 4. If subtract 2 minus 3 will give you minus value. 2 minus 3 will give you minus 1. So here we don't want a minus value. What should we do? We don't want to have a minus, an answer with minus. Here we're gonna borrow. Borrow from where? We're gonna borrow from 3 here. So what should we do? We're gonna multiply 3 by 2. Will give you 6. 3 times 2 will give you 6. And this 3 will be 2. So we'll have 2 with 6 over 4. So we'll have here 2 with 6 over 4 minus 1 with 3 over 4 equal what? 6 minus 3 will give you 3. And you have the same denominator 4. 2 minus 1 we will have 1. Clear? Okay. Here you're going to multiply proper fraction. 5 over 1 multiply 1 over 6 multiply 4 over 7. Here we're going to multiply. Do we multiply the denominator or just the numerator? Should we multiply the denominator or just the numerator? Yes, we multiply them both. And multiplying, we multiply also the denominator. So we have 5 times 1 times 4 will give you 20. Here we have 1 times 6 times 7 will give you 24. Clear? Is that clear, everyone? Yes, yes, it's very easy. You have calculator in the final, so that's why I'm moving quickly. So you're gonna have your calculator in the exams. You don't need to do it manually. Here we have multiply mixed number. You have 2 with 1 over 3 multiplied by 1 with 1 multiplied by 1 with 1 over 2. It's a mixed number. Can we multiply a mixed number? No. What should we do? We should convert it to become improper fraction. So we convert it from mixed number here to become improper fraction like this one. So what should we do? We multiply 2 by 3 will give you 2 times 3 will give you 6 plus 1 we will have it 7 over 3. Here we have 1 multiplied by 2 will give you 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. So we convert it from mixed number to become improper fraction. 2 with 1 over 3 becomes 7 over 3. 1 with 1 over 2 becomes 3 over 2. Then we multiply 7 times 3, 21, 3 times 2, 6. So become 21 over 6, reduce it, will be 7 over 2. Clear? Convert mixed number to become improper fraction. Now we're gonna dividing proper fraction. 1 over 8 divided by 2 over 3. What should we do? Convert it, Judy. Convert mixed number to become improper fraction. Then you multiply. Then you reduce it to the lowest term will be mixed number. If you reduce it to the lowest term, reduce it to the lowest term. Divide 7 by 2 will give you a mixed number. Here, 1 over 8 divided by 2 over 3. We don't borrow here. What should we do? Who knows? What's the way to divide fractions? What's the way to divide fractions? 80 students here. No one know how we divide fractions? Yes, we convert it to, yes, we convert it from dividing to become multiplying, right. 1 over 8, we write it the same, 1 over 8. We change it here from dividing to become multiplying. Then we upside down this fraction. Here we have 2 over 3. So we make it upside down, switch it to become 3 over 2. Then you multiply 1 times 3, 3, 8 times 2, 16. First thing, we change it from dividing to become multiplying. Then we upside down the second fraction. So you have 2 over 3 becomes 3 over 2. Then we multiply directly. Here, this one is dividing. This one is not multiplying. This one is dividing. Here we have 8 with 3 over 4 divided by 2 with 5 over 6. What should we do? What should we do? convert the mixed number to become what? Improper fraction. We convert the mixed number to become improper fraction, right? So we have 8 with the 3 over 4. We multiply 8 by 4 plus 3, right, Judy? We'll give you 35. You convert it will be 35 over 4. Then we have 2 with 5 over 6. Multiply 2 by 5 plus 6. We'll give you, let's see. This one will be 17 over 6. Then what should we do? Here we have 35 over 4 divided by 17 over 6. Then we change this dividing to become multiplying. We upside down this fraction to become 6 over 17. Then we multiply. 35 by 6 will give you 105. 4 times 17 will give you 34. Then you reduce it to the lowest term, will give you 3 with 3 over 34. Clear? Now we finish chapter 2. Any question in chapter 2? Any question in chapter 2? Other student? Okay, let's move to chapter 3. Okay. Yes, it's easy, but you should focus. The quizzes will be tricky for you, so you should focus. In chapter 3, we'll talk about decimals here. We will talk decimals. So, what you should learn? We're going to learn rounding decimals, fraction, and decimal conversion. We're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. First thing, here we have the bag of M&Ms. Here give you the colors of M&Ms. We have 6 colors. This is the fraction for the colors. So we have 18 of yellow. The total of candies inside the bag is 55 pieces. So we have 18 of them yellow. So 18 over 55. Here we have 10 red over the total 55, 9 blue over the 55. How we make this fraction to become decimal? Grab your calculator, divide 18 over 55. Divide 18 by 55. Students, 0.327, or there is another values? No, it's not 0.33. Give me all numbers you have in the calculator, not just 3 values. 0.327, that's it? Yes, Sheikha, Madris. Shakir, sorry. Right check here. 3.272727273. Right. So this is the answer here. 0.3272727. This value we call it decimal. This value we call it decimal. So the decimal is the result of dividing the fraction. The decimal is the result of dividing the fraction. So let's see here. This is the decimal place value chart. So here we have the decimal point. The first value here. On the left side, we call it ones or units. This value on the left side, we call it ones or unit. The second value here, we call it what? Tens. Second value in the left, we call it tens. Third value in the left, we call it hundreds. Fourth value in the left, we call it thousands. This is the value on the left. Ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. The first value on the right, we call it tenth. Second value on the right, we call it hundredth. Then we have thousandth. So find the difference here. Tenth, hundredth, thousandth, 10,000th, 100,000th. So the value here is 10. This value we call it 100th. This value we call it 1,000th. This value we call it 10,000, and this value we call it 100,000. So here in the M&M's candy you have 0.32727. This value, what do you call it? The zero here. What is the zero here? Ones, right. And the 3 here is 10th. Here we have the 100th. The 7 is the 1,000th. 2 here is the 10,000th. And the 7 here is the 100,000th. This is the decimal placement. Here we have this value. It's the answer of what? Dividing 18 over 55. So we have 18. Oh, it's a big number. Make it small. So 18 over 55 will give you 0.3272727. It's a long value here. We should make it rounded to the hundredth, to the nearest hundredth. Round your value to the nearest hundredth. What is hundredth here? Round your value to the nearest hundredth. What is hundredth here? Number 2. Yes, Marwan. Here is hundredth. So what's the value near after 2? Now we're gonna convert it to the nearest hundredth. If we ask you to convert to the nearest hundredth, first thing that you should do it, look at the value after the number you're gonna convert. So the first value after 2 is 7. So because is this 7, 7 is greater or equal to 5, we change this 2 to become 3. So when the value after the selected number greater or equal to 5, we increase our value 1 unit more. So we increase this to become 3. So our answer will be 0.33. We drop the value after rounding. So we convert, after 2 we have 7. So 7 greater or equal to 5. So number 2 we change to become 3. Then we drop the values after number 3. After increase number 2 to become 3. Clear? Is that clear, everyone? Yes, okay. Here we have rounding decimals. Here we have 166.39. Round to the nearest dollar. Where is dollar here? He asked you to round it to the nearest dollar. Where is dollar here? Where is the dollar? Yes, dollar is the one's value. Where is the one's value? Not the dollar symbol. Where is the number we call it dollar here? Yes, number 6. This 6 we call it dollar. This is the dollar here. Round your answer to the nearest dollar. What's the number after 6? What's the number after 6? 3. Is the 3 greater or equal to 5? No. So we drop the values after number 6, so we keep it the same, 166. So 166, the dollar here is number 6. After number 6, we have 3. 3 is not greater or it's not equal or greater than 5. So we drop the values here. So answer will be 166. Here we have 1,100. He asked you for the dollar. The dollar is number 6. There are many synonyms for the value. So he's gonna give you 10 ones, unit. He ask you ones, unit, dollar. So you should focus and look how many synonyms to the value. So you don't know what he's gonna ask you. Like here, round it to the nearest cent. Where is cent here? Where is cent? No, cent is not hundredth. No, where is cent? No. We have 1,196.885. Where is cent here? Cent. No, 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 no. Yes, Abdullah and Sharif. This 8 is the cent. This 8 is the cent. No, cent is not hundred, it's tenth. Tenth is the cent. Sorry, right, it's the hundredth. Is this 8? This is the cent here. So, what's the number after 8? We have 5. So, what should we do? Should we increase this 8 to become 9 or keep it the same? Should we increase this 8 to become? Yes, we increase it 1 unit because 5 is equal to 5. The 8 here will become 9. So the answer will be 1196.89 because the cent is the hundredth. So round here, round to the nearest hundredth. We have 38.563. What is the hundredth here? Yes, it's number 6 here. After number 6, we have 3. We should go and learn and check to know the synonyms of cent, hundredth. So now we just drop the 3, so the answer will be 38.56. Round to the nearest thousandth. 1432.9981. So the 8 here is the thousandth. After 8 we have 1, so we drop 1. So the answer will be 1432.998. Clear, everyone? Okay. Here we have fractions. Compare decimal fraction to decimal. Here we have 3 over 10. When we divide by 10 units or 10 values, here 3 over 10. If you have 3 over 10, how many 0 here? Here we have 1 0. So the 3 will be the first value in the right after the decimal. So 0, 3 over 10, we have 1 0. So the 3 will be the first value after the decimal. Here we have 3 over 100. So we have 2 0. So the 3 will be the second value after the 0, the second unit. So we have 0 and the 3 will be in the second unit or the second place after the decimal. Here we have 3 over 1000, 3 zeros. So the 3 will be in the third place after the decimal. So we will have 2 zeros here and then we have the 3. Here 3 over 10,000. So 4 zeros here. So we'll be in the fourth place after the decimal. So here is the 3. So 1, 2, 3, and the fourth place will be for the 3. Clear? Okay. Here we have convert proper fraction to decimal. Here we have 3 over 4. We're going to divide it to become from proper fraction to decimal. So here we have 4 and here we have 3. 3 is less than 4, so we can divide it. So there is no number. You multiply it by 4 will give you a value close to 3 because 4 is greater than 3. We should make this 3 become bigger than 4. So to increase this 3, we should add the decimal point here and then we can add 0 here. Add decimal point, then you add 0 here. Now becomes 30. Any value multiplied by 4 will give you 30 or close to 30. 7, right. 7 times 4 will give you, will give you 28. So then we subtract 30 minus 28 will give you 2. Then we add 0. Why we add 0? Because we have decimal point here. We can add 0. 20. Any value multiplied by 4 give you 20. 5. So here we will have 5, 0.75. The answer will be. So 3 over 5 will give you the decimal value 0.75. Here we have convert mixed number to decimal. We have 8 with 2 over 5. We're going to convert it to become decimal. What should we do? We divide 2 by 5. Here we have 5. Here we have 2. What should we do? 2 less than 5. There is no value multiplied by 5 to give you a value close to 2. So we add decimal point here, and this 2 become 20. Any value multiplied by 5 give you 20. Yes, 4. Now we multiply 4 by 5 will give you 20. So 20 minus 20 is 0. So then we have a whole number. Don't forget the whole number here. So we have 8 plus 0.4. So the decimal value is 8.4. So 8 with 2 over 5 equal 8.4. Clear? Okay. Should move quickly because we have 30 minutes. Okay. Here we have convert pure decimal to decimal fraction. Here we have it as a decimal. We're going to write it as a fraction. We have 0.24. How many units on the right we have here? How many units in the right of the decimal? We have 2 units. So we're going to draw a line, a decimal fraction line. So we have 2 units in the right. So we're going to write 24 here. And then it will be over what? This 24. We have two values on the right. That means we will add 2 zeros. 2 in the right, that means we will have 2 zeros. So 0.24, it's equal to 24 over 100. So we convert from pure decimal to decimal fraction. Clear how we convert it? Why no? 2 units in the right. That means we can divide it by 100 because 2 units in the right, so we can add 2 zeros. So 0.24, we drop the point here. We have 24 over 100 because we have 2 values in the right. You can see here, convert mixed decimal to decimal fraction. You have 17.45. 17 here is what? Decimal value or whole number? here in the left, it's a whole number, right? So we're gonna have the 17, the whole number here, and then we should write the draw the fraction line. So 45. How many values on the right? 2 values. So we will have 17. We can write 45 divided by what will be 100. Right. So we will have 45 over 100. Clear? Clear, everyone? Now we're gonna add decimals. We have 4 plus 0.7.3 plus 36.139 plus 007 plus 8.22. Okay, we're gonna add fractions. So we first thing find the value have more zeros. What is the value have more zeros in the, or sorry, which value have more numbers in the right? Which number have more, which value have more numbers in the right? Right, 0.0007. So we add fraction. So we have 0.007. This have more values in the right. So we're gonna start with the first one. Here, how many values in right? We have 4 values in the right. So we're gonna add for each one 4 values in the right. Here we have 4, so we will have 4.4 zeros in the right. Here we have 7.3, so we have 7.3. Then we're gonna add 3 zeros to have 4 zeros in the right. Here we have 36.139. So we have 36.139 and we add 0 to have 4 zeros in the right. And then we have 0.3 zeros and 7. Then we have 8.22 and then we add 2 zeros. To have all of them have the same values on the right. To make it easy for us to add. So we have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 7 plus 0 will equal 7. Zeros with 7 will give you 7. Now we have 0 plus 0 plus 9 plus 0 plus 0. We will have 9. Here we have 0 plus 0 plus 3 plus 0 plus 2. We'll make 5. 3 times plus 2 will have 5. Here we have 0 plus 3 plus 1 plus 0 plus 2. 3 plus 1 plus 2 will have 6. Then we have the decimal here. Then we have 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8. 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8 will give you no. 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8 will give you 25. So we will have 2 here. 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 8 will give you 25. Then we have 2 plus 3 will have 5. Clear? Okay, here we're gonna subtract 45.3 minus 15.273. Here we have 3 values on the right. So we're gonna add 2 zeros here. 45.3 with 2 zeros minus 15.273. Now subtract 0 minus 3. No, it's not recorded. I don't record my lectures. 0 minus 3 We can subtract 0 minus 3. 0 minus 7. We can't subtract 0 minus 7. So what should we do? We can borrow from 3 here. We borrow from this 3 will be 2. So the second value after 3 will be 10, because we borrow from 3, so this 0 become 10. But we need to borrow for this 0. So this 10 will be 9, and this 0 will be 10. So 10 minus 3 will be 7. 9 minus 7 will be 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Then we have the decimal point. 5 minus 5 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. Clear? Okay. Here we have multiply. 8.52 times 6.7. We multiply, we don't look at the decimal here. We multiply as a normal or whole number. So we multiply 8, we read it as 852 multiplied by 67. We don't look at the decimal point now. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 1 is 36. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 8 is 56 plus 3, 59. Okay. Now we have just know what to do. Still wait. Stop drawing. Okay. Now, sorry. Here we have, after multiply by 7, we add 0, and now we multiply by 6. 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So we have 2 here and 1 here. 6 times 5. 6 times 5. 6 times 5. 30. So we have 1 here. So will be 31. So we have 1 here and we add 3 here. 6 times 8. 6 times 8. 6 times 8. 48 plus 3 will be 51. Now we add 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 6 is 8. 9 plus 1 is 10. So we have 1 here. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 1, 7. And here we have the 5. Now we write our answer. So we're gonna see here. We go back and see the decimal. Where should we put the decimal point? Here we have 2 values in the right, and here we have 1 value in the right. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we count 1, 2, and 3. Then we add the decimal point here. So the answer will be 57.083. So the third place is for the decimal. So 1, 2, 3, and we add the decimal point. Clear? Okay. You can multiply it by, you should find, here we have 2 decimal places on the right, and here we have 1 decimal place on the right. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we go to our value and we count 1, 2, 3, and then we add the decimal point. Here to give you another example, you can practice with this one. Here we have dividing decimals. So we have 2.5 divided by 32.800. We can divide with a decimal point here in the middle. So what should we do? We move the decimal point 1 unit to the right, and here also we move decimal point 1 unit to the right. Sorry, here we make it the decimal point. So it will be 25, we make it as whole number, divided by 328.0. So if you move decimal point for the first value, you should move the decimal point for the second value. So then we can divide. We divide any value multiplied by 25, give you 32? No. So we multiply by 1. 1 by 25 will give you 25. So 32 minus 25 is 7. 32 minus 25 is 7. Then we drop the 8 here. So we have 78. Any value multiplied by 25 will give you 78? No. But if you multiply 3 by 25 will give you 75. So 78 minus 75 is 3. Then we're gonna drop 0 here. The 0 is after the decimal, so we add the decimal point here. Because we're gonna start using the value after decimal, we add the decimal in our answer. So then we have 1 multiplied by 25, give you 25, 30 minus 25 is 5. Then we drop the last 0 here. So become 50. So 2 times 25 will give you 50, then 50 minus 50 is 0. Clear? When we add the decimal point, when you start to use value after the decimal, we add directly the decimal point here in your answer. Okay. Here we have decimal applications in foreign currency. The price of a Microsoft Surface 3 can be bought in Canada for $600 US. Using the currency table from the Wall Street Journal, let us see what the Surface 3 would sell for in Canadian dollar. So we need to find the price in the Canadian dollar. In the table on page 74, $1 US equal 1.1341 Canadian dollar. To find the cost in the Canadian dollar. So we know it's equal 600 US dollar, we need to find this value in the Canadian dollar. We know 1 US dollar equal 1.1341 in Canadian dollar. So what should we do? We multiply the 600, the value in the Canadian dollar, in the US dollar, by its value in the Canadian dollar. So we find the number or the cost or the price in the US dollar by the value of Canadian dollar will give you 680.46. Clear? Because 1 US dollar equal what? 1.1341 Canadian dollar. So you multiply 600 by the currency value for Canadian dollar will give you 680.46 in the Canadian dollar. Clear, everyone? Okay. Here we have shortcut of multiplying of 100. If you have 6.89 and you multiply it by 100, how many zeros here we have? We have 2 zeros. So when you multiply a decimal value by 100, that means you're gonna move the decimal points 2 units to the right. So move decimal point to the unit 2 units to the right because we multiply by 100 because we have 2 zeros here. So 6.89, if you multiply it by 100, it will give you 689. If you have 6.89 multiplied by 10, how many zeros? 1 zero. So that means you're gonna move decimal point 1 unit to the right. So it becomes 68.9. Also here, if you have 6.89, you multiply it by 1000. How many zeros in the 1000? We have 3 zeros. So we move it 3 units to the right. That means you're gonna add 0. So it becomes 6820. Clear? Okay, now we have dividing. If you divide 6.89 by 100, here we have 2 zeros. In the multiplying, we move the decimal to the right. But for dividing, we move the decimal 2 units to the left. That means you're gonna add 0 and you add the decimal point. So it will be 0. So it will be 0.0689. Here we divide it by 10. We move decimal 1 unit to the left. So it will be 0.689. Here we have 1000. So you move it 3 units to the left. So you're gonna add 2 zeros. So it will be 0.20689. So if we divide, we move the decimal point to the left. If you multiply, you move decimal point to the right. Clear? Clear, everyone? Now we finish chapter 3. Any question? Is there any question about the chapter or about anything in the course? You can ask. You have 5 minutes before the end of the lecture. If you don't have any question, you can leave. Now finish our lecture. If you don't have any question, you can leave. Until now, there is no attendance. We will tell you later if there is attendance. Okay. First quiz or first activity? The quiz is different than the activities. Yes, we finished. It will be an activity. Dr. Jamal will post to you which chapter include in the activity or the quiz. Yes, you can check the LMS. There is the book in the LMS. There is activity available in the LMS. There is in the TLMS. There is a practice for the quizzes.